husband, Tim.
Oh.
David. This is Angel's husband. And then where's my daughter, Brittany? There she is. Brittany and her husband, Sean. Please come forward. And I've got my grandson, Cash, and my little grandson, Walker. And this is us. This is our family. So I just wanted to kind of introduce everybody, and then I'm going to ask Angel and say a few words, and then I'm going to have my brother Jeff say a few words if you can. And then after that, we're going to have Judy talk to us about her story. And if anybody else would like to get a book signing, please feel free to come up here. These books are free tonight. And please take one home with you. If you already have one, but you know somebody who could use her story and use that book to share, please take one with you to share. And I've got one more person that I've got two more, but let me do this before Angel. Addison, where are you? Little Addie, come here. I want to introduce you to the youngest book reader of this book, Little Addison. So, Addison told me she read the book, and I was just like, wow, you're kidding me. So, I wanted to ask you a question. And first of all, have you met Judy yet?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
We did a picture.
Oh, very good. So I wanted to ask you a question. Out of the book, what was the one thing that stood out for you?
To have hope no matter what.
I like that. Yay. And then, do you have a question you want to ask Judy?
What was the hardest thing to get used to when you came out?
Oh boy, one thing.
Listening to her daughter.
She thought she was alone. I don't know. No, actually, the hardest thing for me was learning how to flush a stool. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to wash my hands. And I expected my daughter to help me because I'd take her in with me. She does this all the time. She talks. So I was stuck.
She didn't know you had to go like this underneath the faucet to get it to work. Or get the soap to come out. Yeah.
She didn't know how to get the soap to come out of the dispenser. And the other? Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for reading her book and for being here tonight. And then the other person, where is she? Oh, Kim, could you come out here for a minute? Kim McClellan, please?
Yes.
Please. I want to introduce you to Kim. She feels like she would be the perfect actress for you in her movie. So anyway, without further delay, I know you guys are here to hear Judy speak, not me. So Angel, you got to go.
Hello, thank you again, everybody, for coming out here and supporting my mom and her family, my Aunt Joella. So I'm blessed to have the family that I have. And some of you might think, well, how could you say that after everything your family's gone through? You know Joella and with me, my mom, you know why, because they're amazing women. And my Uncle Jeff has a heart of gold, and I got to experience that my whole life. And when this happened to my mom, it was hard. It was very, very difficult, obviously. The murder happened the day before my 13th birthday. And I didn't know where my mom was or what happened. I just was told she wasn't coming back. And but it never changed my love for my mother. It never made me love her less or doubt her or give up or lose faith. And so through the years, we met many governors. We wrote many letters, we did walks, we did all kinds of stuff, and many of you have been involved in supporting my aunt through that. And but the thing that I was always blessed with is that my mom loved me so well that it doesn't matter the distance, it doesn't even matter the life circumstance. If you love somebody and you just show up and be present, maybe not in person, but through a letter, through a phone call, just letting them know how much you love them, it makes a world of difference. And so that's what I encourage everybody to do. If there's somebody in your life that's going through something, reach out to them. Just let them know that you love them and you care about them and you believe in them, and that will help get you through the hardest times of your lives. So thank you, and here is my
Hey, y'all. That's Southwest Missouri calls. Anyway, this journey for the last, I was 17. And when all this happened, I mean, Judy was my hero, okay, growing up. You know, I looked forward to Christmas time when she'd come down from Kansas City down to Springfield, you know, and we get to spend almost 2 weeks with her. She'd bring Angel, you know, and it was like, it was so much fun, you know, and that's the way we grew up. You know, our family was a big family, as you guys know. We had 8 kids, 8 blood kids, and we had 1 stepsister, Lorenda, and everything. And our family was very close. We went through a lot of ups and downs anyway, you know. But when this happened to Judy, for a 17-year-old, I slept on the floor next to my mom's bed for a long time and everything. Because I was so scared. I mean, I shook. I was so scared because I didn't understand what was going on, you know. Even though I was there when a lot of this happened, and in the book, when you see Jeff, that's me and everything. I was helped babysitting Chip and Angel that night and everything, and brings back a lot of memories. But it's been a roller coaster, right? And a roller coaster ride up and down, but all through it all, even as a teenager, I still looked to Judy for inspiration. I still talked to her on the phone and told her my problems. I still drew all my strength from her. You know, even though she was in prison and going through what she was doing, she was still my big sister. You know, and she's always been my big sister. You know, her and Joel both. Everything, the two.
Don't call me big.
Okay, over. And then Joel's on the. That's it. Everything, but she was still my inspiration. She was still the person I went to for advice when I was dating. You know, when I was dating girls. You know, before I said I was gay. But she still gave me advice. No matter what, I still look to her. And to this day, I still look to her because she's the strongest lady I've ever met in my life, besides my mother. I have to say she's the strongest, and Judy comes next. And Joella. Oh, yeah. Okay, then Angel. I'm sorry. Anyway, without further ado, Joel, you want it back?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
So that's us. And now here's Judy. I'm just going to turn it right over, sis, and do your thing. You can sit or you can stand. I love you.
I love you. I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for coming tonight. This has been such an honor and such a privilege to be able to be here and to meet all of Joella's friends, even though I stalk her Facebook page, and I know most of you by that. But it is just, I'll tell you, it's a blessing. And the journey was, yes, it was hard. It was tough. But I knew there's 2 things that you can do with anger. You can either get bitter or you can get better. And I chose to get better. And to get better, I first had to find out, how did this happen? How did I allow myself to, 1, stay in a 12-year abusive marriage. 2, how after, it took 9 months for me to meet my codependent right after my divorce. And I ended up in the psychiatric ward between that time. But then I started, really doing well. I was good in business. I would succeed in business, but whenever it came to relationships, that was my addiction, was love. We all have, shopping addiction, we have drug addiction, alcohol. Mine was love. But until I went to prison, I didn't even know I was a battered woman. But I was allowed the privilege to be able to just take all the classes that I needed to take for my education. I became a certified paralegal, a fitness trainer, a dog trainer, a hairdresser. Anything I could do. I took college classes until they wouldn't let us take them anymore. I worked with state legislators, senators, and representatives to change the law for battered women. And we got that passed as a defense. Because back then, battered women wasn't, they had no defense when they went to trial for assaulting or killing their abuser. But that had to change. That had to change. We had to help them. And so for the first time in the history of Missouri, they had hearings inside a prison. And while I was there, I got 12 other women to tell their stories. I worked with each of them, and it was very hard. It was heart-wrenching. Is that close enough? All right. And so we held these hearings, and we did get the law passed. Now we're working on updating that law and trying to get it to where it has a little bit more umph to it, more power to it. And they passed a law it's called the Survivors Bill in Oklahoma. And whenever they got it passed there, you can usually take that and use that as a model and take it to other states. So that's what's happening right now with that. So we're still working to help other battered women. And I also work with the governor's office to release other lifers. One was just released in December of 2024 after 38 years. And I work for Catholic Charities of Kansas City, St. Joseph full-time. While I still spread the news about my release and what God, the message He gave me to give to others of hope and resilience and courage. You can have a really bad situation and think, this isn't going to get any better. I don't know how to get out of this. But there's always a way. There's always a way. Stand on your faith. Make a vision board. Has anybody made a vision board before? Let me see how many makes vision boards. Ooh, yes. Okay. And on that vision board, you put your faith into existence. You put your pictures, you put your words, cut words out of newspapers, magazines. In prison, it was very elementary because I didn't have a lot of arts and crafts. But I made a vision board, and everything on that vision board came true. My sentence was commuted to life served, and I was given a pardon. I wrote a book. We're going to do a movie, and in the center of that picture was my family. And I knew I was going to go home. I never, ever doubted it. Once I was convicted, I said, oh no, I'm going to fight it, I'm going to fight it. And everybody kept telling me, all the wardens, all the officers, Judy, why do you keep packing? Why do you think you're going home? You're going to die here. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm going home. And one of the governors that was going to release me in November, he and his son died in a plane crash in October. And so Joella had already planned on coming in, Tina. They bought me tons of clothes from the plaza, which is a really nice place to shop. And that was in 2000. So I had to wait 17 more years before a governor would finally release me. And 3 different parole boards advised 3 different governors to release me, and they would not listen to the parole boards. They appointed themselves. So, it makes you wonder how our system is really ran. What's it ran by? What are they doing with the money? But we won't get into all that stuff right now. And then Governor Greitens came along, and he was the 7th governor, which I always related to God's number of completion. Number 7. He created the heavens and the earth in 7 days. And so I knew this was my year. But I refused to go to the visiting room because I had classes to teach, Zumba, weight training, and plus I had to go to medical and get a mammogram. And so I was in medical, in the machine, and they said, Judy, you gotta go to the visiting room. I said, no, my attorney would know not to come up here unless she let me know, and I had full makeup, full hair done, I am not going. And they said, Judy, you have to go, or you're gonna go to the hole. I said, oh, okay, I'm going. I'm out of here. So I did. I went up to the visiting room. I could not imagine what in the world it could be, because it wasn't a visiting day, and my attorney didn't notify me, so I thought, okay, it's another denial. You know, they've come personally to let me know, and so I was pretty disappointed having to wait there an hour and a half because they said that my attorney hadn't gotten there yet. Well, it wasn't the attorney that hadn't gotten there yet, it was the governor that hadn't flown in yet. But I did not know that. And so I waited for an hour and a half. Then I ended up going into the visiting room, and there was the attorney's lawyer that had been to see me 3 weeks earlier. But when he came, he told me, he said, my female attorney was there, and he told us, he said, I'm not going to say that he's going to release you, because was his first year of his first term, and no governor ever releases somebody in the first year of their term, because then they look soft on crime and they won't get reelected. But not this governor. Oh no. He was a governor that cared about the people. He cared about the constituents. He cared about not only him, but the lowest society, which is the prisoners. And he ended up, he told his attorney, one of his legal counsel, he said, go and find out what that violation was that's in her file. Why is it that, they made such a big to-do over this? And come to find out, it was a book that he wrote, and I had one too many books. So I got a violation for it. And it was a book the governor wrote himself that I was reading on resilience. So he thought that was ironic. He loves that story. And so he actually did come to the prison. I was standing there in front of Justin, and he said, I just have a question to ask you, Judy, because I thought, why are you here? And he said, somebody's been waiting to see you for a long time. And I turned around, and there was the governor. And I fell to my knees in tears, because I knew it was over. I knew on the other side of that gate, on that steel door, was my family. And I was going to get to walk out, finally. And he said, I just want to tell you, I want to apologize for the state of Missouri for keeping you locked up so long for a murder you did not commit. And he said, on this day, you're going to walk out. I said, what'd you say? What'd you say? I said, right now? He said, right now, you're going home. I said, oh my God, you mean this, right? Right now. I couldn't believe it. He had to repeat it several times. And so the warden came in, and he said, these officers are going to take you down and let you pack up and to take all your stuff right now. I said, okay. So that meant all the stuff I was going to give to the girls, I couldn't do it because the officers couldn't know that I was giving my stuff away. So I looked down and I said, sorry, girls. But so we started walking down to the yard, and the officer said, can you act nonchalant and act like nothing's happened, because we don't want, to get the yard on. They didn't know how the yard was going to react. We had 1,600 women. And so it was probably about a block, and all of a sudden we hear all this screaming and hollering. And I stopped and I looked at both of them, and I said, well, plan A didn't work, what's plan B? You know, they said, let's just keep on walking. So it was like parting the Red Sea. And all these offenders, and even staff, the captains, the lieutenants, the sergeants were just thrilled. They were happy, high fives. And they said after I left that the morale was so high in that prison for 30 days. And I still talk to a lot of them today. And when they need a sweatshirt or a new pair of tennis shoes, I send them the money for that. And I try to do what I can. And so what I do with this book is also helping them. And it's helping others. And I hope in a way that they have a better life because of it. So I want to sincerely thank everybody. And I didn't mean to talk this long. I'm sorry for keeping you. But, you know, I just feel really blessed to have each and every one of you here to support me, to support my sister. And she was always such a blessing. She and Tina would fly back. They took good care of me, as did my daughter and my brother and Jeff. I had a great family. And I couldn't have done it without them. But you know what? God has a purpose for all of us. And I was fortunate enough to find out what my purpose was. And my purpose was serving others. And I love doing that till today. Can't wait to help the veterans, the babies, the homeless. That's what we do. That's what he did. And that's what he wants each of us to do. So I hope that you will consider what it means to have a volunteer walk into a prison knowing that they care about you and don't even know you. They don't even judge you, but they love you. And those volunteers mean life to us. And I always like to commend our volunteers for the work that they do inside the prisons. Because there's a lot of people that you would not believe that do not belong there. So I hope whatever your mission is, whatever your purpose is on this earth, it is serving others in one way or another. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.